Okay, today we're going to be demonstrating how the peristaltic tubing is replaced if there happens to be a rupture or that the tubing is no longer pumping inside the pump assembly. If you look in the video, you'll be able to see each of the pumps in their lower position where they're mounted to the machine. The distillation column and tank would normally be in this area as well. We've removed that for clarity to show how easy it is to gain access to this tubing. In a later tutorial, we will be demonstrating the removal of the column and distillation unit so that these operation can be done very, very quickly and easily, either with or with the column in place. Over here, if you're looking at the very first feed pump, you notice that all the peristaltic tubing is a different color from the rest of the tubing in the machine. And the reason we did that is so that there would be no confusion as to what type of tubing is in place and its location and what its function is. All of the tan tubing is for the peristaltic pumps. You'll notice the blue tubing in the background that runs through, that is for all of the water system. All of the rest of the black tubing throughout the entire machine is fixed tubing that pretty much will not require replacement except for maybe many years down the road. But the ones that require replacement from time to time will be the peristaltic pump tubing. It does see a fair amount of activity and service inside the pump head and may require replacement. So this tutorial will demonstrate how easy it is to replace that and what we've done to facilitate the technician making changes very quickly. First, what we're going to do is, for example, the feed pump peristaltic tubing has a leak and we're going to be replacing this piece of tubing. And if you look closely, you may be able to see it explains which pump you're working on. It also has a direction of which the flow of material needs to go through the pump, and it has a row of arrows, and if you follow the tubing you'll see it goes up and falls into its own filter, again showing the actual direction of flow of the material. Up here we have the whole row of where the tubing comes into the pump area, and each one is assigned and has a quick disconnect that is a no drip connection that when removed will not allow the material to drain from the system. So we will start by taking off the feed pump tubing. Here we go up to where it says beer pump or feed pump, and by a simple push of the button, the quick disconnect disconnects the cable from the system. You then, if you notice, this will drop down into the pump. To remove the tubing, we come to the other side of the filter, and this will be pressed on very securely and will probably need to be cut. Because the tubing fits well, we don't require hose clamps, and it is much lower pressure, and so we can actually just make a small slice. We're able to pull this tubing free, and then by simply going to the bottom of the pump, flip the lever down all the way to its lowest position, and we slip the tubing out to remove. And then this can be discarded. Okay, this is the new replacement feed pump hose that will go to the feed pump. It will come with the quick disconnect already on one end, and it will be the correct length for attaching it to the pump. It's simply be done by plugging it into the quick connect up at the top and following it down. If we remember, the feed flow is going to be coming down through the tube. It has to come across from right to left on the pump following the arrows, and the tubing is simply inserted into the pump assembly, and the pump then is closed, and the end of the tube then is run up and is plugged onto the filter assembly. And once that is pressed up into place, the tube has now been installed and the pump is ready to go. Okay, the other two remaining pumps use the same peristaltic tubing and is replaced in a similar fashion. Each one has a quick disconnect up at its location that is clearly marked on the machine. It's simply disconnected, the tube removed, the parts that are replaced are the correct length and have the fittings already in place, and they will be replaced in a similar fashion. So all three pumps are exactly the same. They use the same tubing. The only difference is the lengths, and as parts are needed, we will be able to replace those with specific part numbers in the future time. So again, showing the ease of operation of replacing the peristaltic tubing on the feed pumps.